Very tragic news that is coming in at this point. Former Australian cricketer Dean Jones has passed away. He, in fact, died after suffering a heart attack. In fact, the former cricketer passed away in Mumbai. Remember, he was in Mumbai and he died of a stroke in Mumbai, where he was present for the IPL job. Let me once again go back to our managing editor Vinay Tiwari on this. Vinay, extremely heartbreaking and a tragic news there coming in. Legendary cricketer Dean Jones passing away in Mumbai.
Very familiar face for the Indian audiences, Purva. I mean, Dean Jones was no stranger to how much he tormented India on the crease. But once he retired and hung his boots in his broadcast spell, he was quite a favorite with the Indian audiences. In fact, he was such a favorite that he got a show from the host broadcasters of Indian cricket to do what was called Dr. Dino, which became an extremely popular cricket segment, which actually helped explain the intricacies and fineries of cricket. He was also a coach of or part of the staff of some IPL teams, including some other cricket leagues, even in Pakistan. Very popular, very well-known face in India, and an extremely revolutionary batsman, as you rightly said. I mean, he literally started what I call the one-day revolution of cricket. I mean, in the mid-80s, when the short-format cricket was not that popular, it was just about becoming popular. Dean Jones' approach and style to batting, as well as his outstanding fielding, was something that made him a legend, not only in Australia, but perhaps across the world. In fact, he was so unconventional, Apurva, that in those days, it may sound a little difficult for viewers to believe now, but in those days, the sight of a batsman actually walking out to bat with his sunglasses on or shades on was equally unheard of. And he did that. He actually walked out in one particular match wearing shades. Nowadays, every fielder wears shades on the field while fielding, sometimes even while batting. But he was the first to do that, and it created quite a chatter in those days. So quite a character he was. Loved to talk, loved to engage with Indian audiences. Just about 3 days ago, he had a little bit of an exchange with a Twitter user in India where somebody called him a very irritating commentator. And he replied very cheekily that there is a mute button on your television set as well, so you can simply mute him when he's talking. Legendary cricketer, there's no question about that, and someone who was extremely familiar and popular with even the Indian cricket fans, Purva.
Absolutely, Vinay. His contribution there to cricket has been exemplary, as you've been pointing out. Vinay, I request you to stay with us at this point. I'm also joined by Atul Wassam, former cricketer, who's also joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Wassam, I'm sure extremely difficult moment there for the entire world with the passing away of a legendary cricketer. But we're also looking at the kind of impact that he has made on several people. He was someone who was loved by everyone. He was a very, very familiar face. As Vinay also pointed out, he was a favorite with the Indian audience as well, something that he has always connected with very deeply.
Yes, he was always out of the box, and he was a friend of mine, and we did a lot of cricket together. We played, in fact, I remember my first one-day international against Australia in Christchurch. He was batting well, and we had Australia under control. But he started stepping out to me, and I was playing my first or second one day. And I just stopped midway while bowling and stared at him. And he looked at me and said cheekily, "What, is it not allowed?" And we had a laugh about it. So he was somebody, and I think it was a big reason why Australia won the '87 World Cup in India, because he was a guy who was brave enough to counter the spin by jumping out and when meeting the ball at the pitch of the ball. So I think all these things, and even after cricket, his commentary style, his the way of seeing and calling the game was unique, and he brought out that qualities when he became consultant, and he was very popular with all the leagues, whether it was T10, Pakistan League happening, Afghanistan happening. Everybody used to seek him out because he used to just find another angle which other guy used to miss, and he used to be very helpful with the boys and always with the spring in his step. Last time I met him was we were doing T10 League in Abu Dhabi, and after that we have not met, and it's such a tragedy that just I heard. I'm in shock actually, because 59 is the new 79 these days, and it is relatively a younger age to leave us all.
Absolutely. Very, very tragic news coming in, Atul Wassam. Stay with us at this point. Let me also bring in another voice here, Charu Sharma, cricket commentator who's joining us on this broadcast. Charu Sharma, extremely heartbreaking, tragic news in a lot of ways. Very, very shocking, because many had in fact even heard him just yesterday as well doing his impeccable IPL commentary.
Yeah, I must confess, this is shocking, because I just heard Atul say that clarify again about, his age. 59 is no age to go. For somebody who lived life to the fullest, I'm not suggesting that he was extremely fit, but he was certainly in good health and in good form. We used to play a lot of golf together. We've shared so many good times, and apart from his obvious cricketing achievement, I only knew him much more as a commentator. And I've got to say that he was a thinker around the game, trying to find new formats, new things to do. He was particularly fond of assignments in our part of the country or our part of the world. And he was therefore a lot more visible and closer to the hearts of many of us who follow the game closely from our perspective. And this, one wonders what went wrong, because I wonder if there was any kind of ill health. I suspect not, but it's truly shocking. And I will miss his company in the commentary box, which is always fun because, as Atul and others will testify, whatever else he was funny. He was, he had a huge sense of humor. He was happy to share things with everybody else, assist those who required it. It was a very open mind, and we shared wonderful times together. So yes, it's shocking, and this is no age for somebody who was so much in the thick of things and wasn't, well, to my knowledge, unwell at all.
Absolutely. Charu Sharma, there are many thanks for joining us, and it is extremely difficult for everyone at this point of the news that has come in, extremely shocking news coming in of former Australian cricketer, legendary cricketer, Dean Jones passing away in Mumbai.